Hey, and welcome to this demo of running loginVSI on 2500 VDI VMs against XtremIO 4.0 single X-Break. So what we have here is a single 10 terabyte X-Break running 2500 VDI VMs running on Horizon View. All of the VMs are up and running, which evidently can be seen from the Horizon View manager. And what we're going to do is actually run a loginVSI load on those 2500 VDI VMs. We will not be using the medium workload of loginVSI, which used to be the de facto workload. We're actually going to use the KnowledgeWorker workload, which is becoming the de facto workload generator itself. It's basically heavier. It's heavier in terms of the CPU utilization on each VM because it now needs 2 virtual CPUs, but it also requires more storage in terms of disk writes and disk reads. We're talking about an increase of roughly 30% of storage utilization, higher utilization than what the medium workload used to be. So let's jump straight into the loginVSI setup. As you can see, I've already set it up, and the only thing that remains for me to do is actually start the test. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. Just gave the workload a name. Going to connect to the launchers that will connect to those VDI VMs, and that's about it. So in a second, we will see the VM starting to be logged in. The total time that it will take to log into each one of these VMs will be 45 minutes, which is what loginVSI recommend you to simulate a morning logging storm, which makes sense. Let's assume employees are coming to work between 8 till 8:45 every morning. So the loginVSI workload is started. We can actually log into one of the first VM and see what is loginVSI actually generating on this VDI VM. Here we can see that it's now trying to open a notepad file. It will then try to zip the file. Basically, loginVSI tries to simulate a real user behavior by running the Office suite of application, meaning reading and writing emails, which is what we see right now, reading and writing Word documents, try to compose PowerPoint presentations, browse the internet, and even play video files. Pretty much typical KnowledgeWorker type of user behavior. And it will do it across all the VDI VMs. This is what the launchers will do. They will log into each one of those VDI VMs, all the 2500 of them, and we launch this set of applications. You can view the progress of the test here in the loginVSI Analyzer console, and we'll come back to it after 45 minutes and see what was the storage load and what will be the loginVSI indexing score that we've got, and did we pass the test or not. Okay, to our testing, we can see that the majority of the VMs have already been logged in, and if we even hover through one of the VMs, we can see that it's now playing some video trailers that will also load the storage. At this stage, we can see that loginVSI have already logged in all the VMs, and what it will actually go ahead and do now is wait around 2 minutes before it's starting to log off the VMs. And what we can actually do now is call in into the storage and analyze the storage load apart from the loginVSI indexing score that we're going to watch in a second. So these are the 40 minutes that loginVSI were performing its loginVSI cycle on, which actually makes sense. We can see the IOPS climbing slowly and surely. What we're going to do now is zoom into where the test started to monitor, apart from the IOPS, which we can see, also the latency. So what we're going to do now is jump into the latency tab and zoom in into the latency. And what we can see now is that apart from a very, very short burst of above 1 millisecond latency, the majority of the run actually ran below 1 millisecond latency. We can see that the write latency was around 1 millisecond throughout the test of the 2500 VDI VMs, and the read latency was below 0.5 latency, which actually view it a bit further if we want to by again zooming in, and then we can see the difference of the reads up to a peak of 0.3 millisecond latency, and the writes were again just about, regardless of this very small peak, were around 1 millisecond latency at its upper scale. Okay, so now what we're going to do is wait a bit and wait for loginVSI to log off all the VMs, and then we're going to revisit the loginVSI indexer results. Okay, now that the test has been finished, let's run the loginVSI analyzer to analyze the results. Let's select the load that we just ran Open the files. Okay, and now finally loginVSI has opened its analysis screen, and we can see that we passed the score with the flying colors, way below the indexing IO rank, which is very good. And thank you very much for watching.